Now, please tell me you all saw the next episode preview for next week because that was hype. Oh my goodness. Diggle returning, Wallace Day finally playing legit Kate Kane. Oh my goodness. Holy shit, this... Look, some people want to say Batwoman sucks. This show still sucks. I honestly think season 2 of Batwoman has been damn near solid. It hasn't been great. It hasn't been good at some parts. But I think it is a nice, solid DC TV show. If I were to give it a grade, it's honestly a B-. It's not bad. It's not that bad as everybody makes it out to be. And honestly, I think it's pretty damn good. I think it's a solid show. And listen, I'm liking where they're going here because oh my goodness, this was good. Now, a few weeks ago when Batwoman was still airing before I went on the break, I forgot to record or I just passed on doing episode 14, so that's my bad. But anyways, the whole thing that carries over from the end of last week that carried into this episode, from episode 14 to this week, was the whole fact that Luke Fox got shot. And that's how they ended off that episode, and they gave us a freaking break. Again, I said it on my Flash, my Superman and Lois, Supergirls, whatever. The fact that the CW is doing all these breaks for all these CW DC TV shows are really starting to piss me off. I hope that was the last break we get. We could have been done with these seasons way back last month, but they always give us these 2 to 3 damn near month breaks. My God, just stay on a consistent program and just go week to week to week. Why do you have to have breaks to begin with? Anyways, this is Batwoman Season 2, Episode 15, where we get the aftermath of the Luke Fox thing. Now, obviously we know Luke got shot by Tavaroff because it was the whole kind of thing in like where they brought in some realism effect from where a black man can be doing something innocently, and when he has proof to show the cops obviously think it's a gun and they shoot him. My whole thing is, look, I understand, I'm a black man myself. But I really do believe that in terms of what they've handled Batwoman, in terms of the real life elements and stuff like that, how they're bringing obviously stuff and from the real world of effects of like black people innocently being shot. I honestly am starting to get a little sick and tired of it. Like, I understand the main purpose and stuff like that because obviously, you know, but you know, after a while, it kind of just gets flat out annoying. Like, I understand social equality, all these social issues and stuff like that definitely need to be a topic brought up about the injustices. But do we have to do this every 2-3 weeks, please? Like, my God, do they have to do every 2-3 weeks some social injustice message? I understand. I think everybody gets that there are social injustices. You don't have to keep feeding it us to our faces. For the love of God, can that woman just please stop that? I understand we should bring more awareness to it, but please, just stop that. I never got to say that in my episode 14 review because I never made it. But after a while, it starts to get a little bit, tiring. Even I get tired of hearing it. I'm like, can we just execute a good, a good point, please? Can we not make it about race for once? Anyways, Tavaroff is meeting with Jacob Kane and some other, I'm guessing, GCPD officials, and they're going over what he said from their report, and he's like, well, I saw him come out and grab a gun, and I did what it was in the best interest, even though they asked him, like, you sure? And I'm like, just go look at the damn body cam footage, and you'll go find out. Which, That's another can of fucking worms that I'll get into in a few seconds, which was honestly one of my more negative points of this fucking episode. Which Jacob's like, don't worry, we're gonna get the body cams to prove it, which can be written as a plot hole later on. Now, we find out that Luke essentially is in a coma and he's on the brink of death, essentially. Now, Mary tells Ryan that what she's going to do is she's going to come up with a Desert Rose antidote to go save Luke's life. Now, we actually cut over to a few scenes with Luke, and he's like, I guess you can say, teetering on the brink of the afterlife in the real world. And he sees his dad in the light, obviously representing heaven and stuff like that, if you believe that stuff. But then we see the same voice actor that played Bruce Wayne earlier when he was pretending to be Hush, plays Bruce Wayne. So I'm guessing this actor, done deal, is going to be the Bruce Wayne if Bruce Wayne ever makes a full-time appearance in this series. But essentially the whole thing here is essentially Bruce just talking to Luke by saying, like, listen, if you go into the light, you're just gonna die. You're going to the afterlife with your dad and stuff like that. So that's kind of the whole storyline there till it wraps up at the end when, you know, things like that. Now, the Alice storyline, this entire episode was kind of a mini storyline. Alice is kind of still mad at Ocean for killing Enigma, which it was shocking to me that she did that. But the interesting thing is that she sees the files for Jacob, Kate, and Mary, and they're all like just for Roman Sionis. Obviously, you know, he was targeting them all along. Eventually, her and Ocean kind of a little squabble, and the reason why, you know, Alice is all upset at Ocean is she wants to not only get her sister back, but as well as have the love in her life there too. And then by the end of the episode, we'll talk about by the end of the episode, but that was kind of the storyline there. So yeah, now Batwoman is chasing down the one dude that framed Luke, and essentially she catches him and she interrogates him, and he's like, look, I told him just to get away, that was his fault. And obviously Ryan's like, oh, okay, fine, and stuff like that. And the dude's like, you should probably let me go. And that's when Batwoman just knocks his ass out. And he's like, yeah, right, like, I'm gonna let you get away scot-free, and stuff like that. Now, what happens is, and this whole thing, you know, the guy tells Batwoman like everything that's going on and stuff like that. Like who was the cop and everything and things like that. We quickly cut back over to the Luke and Bruce stuff. Bruce essentially is telling Luke, like, dude, you got shot and you're about to die. So either you have the choice of staying alive, or you can go past me, go into the light and just stay dead. But okay. Now, when Ryan hears all this stuff, eventually she tells Mary that she's gonna go after Tavaroff, and after she leaves, Alice shows up at Wayne Enterprises. So Mary talks to Alice, and Alice is just saying, hey, this is for future warning, stepsister. There's this person named Cersei that's going to be coming after you. So you might want to keep the bat around if you want to keep yourself safe. So yeah. Mary does tell Alice, like, you just want to have love in your life and stuff like that. Essentially saying you just want people in your life that you can care about and you can love and stuff like that. Again, furthering home the fact that even though Alice has done bad things, you can clearly see Alice wants to change for the better and at least try to live maybe a normal life, I'm guessing. I don't know where they're going to take the Alice character. I really don't. It's going to be interesting. It feels like, you know, they're gonna write her character off after, I guess, they save Kate. That really feels like she's just gonna go into the sunlight with Ocean and just live the life she couldn't live, which is just a peaceful, happy-go-lucky life and stuff like that. I would honestly, I kind of makes a sense because it's kind of like a redemption story for, you know, it's a redemption storyline you know, for Alice after everything she's done, but at the same time, I feel like that would turn off a lot of people. Be like, you hype her up as like a main freaking villain, and then now she's just gonna ride off into the sunset because she's found somebody to love. Again, I've said it various times. I really do feel like Ruby Rose messed up the entire what was supposed to be a pretty interesting sister versus sister storyline. If it wasn't for her leaving, we would probably have a completely different storyline. But hey, whatever. Funny enough, too, in the files she was looking, in Kate Kane's files, they actually had a picture of Ruby Rose, which I was actually shocked. Like, I was like, damn, they had a picture of Ruby Rose? Holy shit! Okay, fine. All right. So yeah, now when what's his face? Batwoman finds Tavaroff. She gets in a brawl, but eventually he gets away because a crow's vehicle hits Batwoman and he just drives off and stuff like that. Now, Mary, after completing the Desert Rose serum or the antidote, she's trying to get in, but you have these two crows people guarding the gate, and they're like, under Jacob's permission, we can't allow you to get in there. I'm like, why are you allowing somebody not to be able to have access in the hospital room? Okay, fine, whatever, and stuff like that. Now, what happens next is Ryan and Sophie look at the footage on obviously the Bat TV in the Bat Cave, and obviously the footage has been altered to look like Luke had a gun on him, but in reality we know he didn't. And essentially, you know, Ryan kind of gets in a spat fest with Sophie, but at the end of the day, she's just telling Sophie, like, if I was just there, I could have did something. And essentially she's blaming herself for Luke getting shot and stuff like that, which I can honestly feel for. In her position, she could feel like she could have did something, but she didn't, and she blames herself for that, even though Sophie's telling her, like, it's not your fault. So what happens is, next up is Sophie actually goes to the Crow's headquarters and she tries to tell Jacob, like, look, you need to look into the full evidence of proving the fact, like, listen, you know, Tavaroff is not a good guy and stuff like that. You need to look into the box and look into the evidence. It wouldn't make sense if Luke did all that and stuff like that. Essentially telling, you know, Jacob, like, look, do a better job and look into the real evidence, which, let me speak about the footage issue. So, and this is where I have the plot hole here. This is like probably one of, if not the biggest negative of the episode. Now, I know they altered the footage and everything, but my only question is this. They had to go back and look at the footage to prove it. Prove to see if Tavaroff, you know, was lying. Why the hell did they not look at the footage the moment they sent Tavaroff off? They should have went there and found the footage. But no, they gave enough time for the footage to be altered and stuff like that. And second of all, how the hell did they not see that the footage? It's just a mind-blowing plot hole there. It would make no damn sense. The moment they said we're gonna go look at the footage, they should have just looked at the footage right then and there. Hell, they should have looked at the footage right then and there as they're giving Tavaroff the interview. Why didn't they do that? Oh, okay, we'll see. Let's see if you were lying. And there it will go show that he had a phone, not a gun. Plot hole much? That was the only writing issue I saw. Like, how would they have time to alter the video in that quick of a time? And stuff like that. Anyways, Sophie manages to hack the Crow's interface by putting a camera to make sure that there's surveillance going on. Now, what also happened is Sophie called in Wolf Spider to sneak in to give Luke the antidote, and he does give Luke the Desert Rose serum. Now, Jacob calls Tavaroff into his office yet again, and essentially he's asking him, like, it wouldn't make no sense for a dude that has no criminal history on his record to suddenly go GTA, which I found was a funny comment there. And that's when he's like, okay, listen, something's not going on here. You must have your own posse. We're gonna look more deeper into this. Listen, hand over your badge. You're suspended essentially. But Tavarov, he's like, okay, sir. But then he does the typical thing where he knocks out Jacob Kane because he knows he's gonna be going to prison, and he's gonna be going to jail because of his, obviously the thing he did, because he killed an innocent person and stuff like that. So that's when he knocks him out. Now, we cut back over to Batwoman. She ends up getting to the files, but the problem is they can't find the real footage because for some dumb reason, body cam footage is not dated. I have no clue how these crows, these officials can look up these body information, like, which, okay, is another plot hole. So how the hell could you find the original freaking video amongst all these files that were never dated to begin with, never dated, never had a time specific? How did they find this along with all the other case body cam footages this guy had? What? Yeah, but of course, let's not have our personal records dated. I think in a real world sense, that shit would be dated. So you know, okay, this is when this happened, this is when this happened. It wouldn't be classified. Anyways, because Sophie sees the command, Jacob being taken away, she tells Ryan, like, listen, you need to go save the commander, because guess what? They could kill him, because trust me, Tavarov is gonna tie up loose ends. Which is funny enough, because they cut over the fact that Tavarov's gonna give him 3 doses of snake bite, which one of his little crew members like, that could kill him. And Tavarov's like, do you think, are you stupid? If this guy Wagon's not dead, he's gonna turn us in. He's gonna say we essentially took him hostage. You wanna go to jail? And the dude's like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, you're a dumbass. Yeah, you want to go to jail, really? You think you shouldn't kill a man who your boss, essentially, your so-called leader, you know, attacked your own boss. He'll send you to jail on the spot for that. But before he's able to administer the first dose of snake bite, Batwoman comes in, takes out the entire staff, and knocks out Tavarov by saying, you're going to go to Blackgate. She saves Jacob and essentially tells Jacob, this wouldn't have never happened under your watch if you just did a better job at getting the right cops, and stuff like that. And what happens at the end of the episode is there's a press conference with Jacob, and what Jacob does is he disbands the crows for obviously the actions that took place, because he's like, well, if we can't do things the right way, then guess what? I'm just gonna get rid of the crows and disband them. So you have Mary and Sophie eventually tell Jacob, you did the right thing in disbanding the crows and stuff like that. And in the meantime, Mary and Ryan are at Luke's medical bed, and they're saying everything that how much Luke means a lot to them and stuff like that. If not for Stephanie Brown having a freaking, I guess you could say some romantic relationship with Luke. Again, like I said, I would have totally shipped Luke with Mary, which, again, Mary gives us a comment or some sort of line essentially insinuating that she has feelings for him, but I guess it's morally that she needs him as a friend and stuff like that. I still ship them, but again, from what I saw from when Stephanie Brown was first introduced, I'm definitely down with the series, especially now the fact that it seems like Luke is definitely gonna be taking the mantle of Batwing soon, and stuff like that. So yeah, after that happens, we cut back to the Luke and Bruce scene, and essentially Bruce is just telling him, like, look, man, you know, it's your decision to make. What do you want to do? And essentially Luke's like, I want to go to my dad. And I'm like, and this is even after, you know, Bruce is telling him, like, you got people out there in your life that want you. But Luke is like, I don't want to go back to a world that is all corrupt and evil. I'm just tired of it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that anymore. And he wants to go back to his dad and spend, I guess, stay with his dad in the afterlife in heaven. But before he can even do that, and 2, his dad's face cuts back a bit. We don't see who's the actor playing Lucius Fox. I envision maybe they'll show Lucius Fox, the actor who plays his face, soon, but I'm guessing they kept that face hidden for a reason. I'll tell you one thing, it's definitely not Morgan Freeman. Because that would have been something if it's like, oh, Morgan Freeman. So Luke Fox in this universe is not Morgan Freeman. I mean, Lucius Fox in this universe is not Morgan Freeman, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint you. They just showed he was bald though. I don't know what that actor was, but you can see a glimpse of the face, but can't really picture out because the light's too bright. But I'm guessing because the Desert Rose stuff kicked in before he was able to go into the light and go die and just leave frickin' Mary and frickin' Ryan all by themselves, he actually is brought back to the real world and he managed to wake up, although he looks like he's pretty upset and disappointed that he's back in the real world. Like, you could look at the face, you could just look at the reaction on his eyes, like he's like, fuck, I didn't want to come back, which I found to honestly be funny. So Luke is still alive, so people freaking the Batman Trooper fans who were clamoring, Luke Fox shouldn't die, I'm gonna drop this show if Luke dies. We all knew Luke Fox wasn't going to die. Please, he's a main character. Like, I would have been shocked if they really did go through it and kill Luke Fox. But I heard so many asinine things of how many people said they're gonna drop the fucking show. Oh, yeah, right, like you were staying for Luke Fox. Really? You were staying for Luke Fox. Don't get me fucking, don't lie. You didn't stay for Luke Fox. And if you did, that's a pretty bullshit ass reason to stay watching Batwoman. You might as well just stop watching it to begin with. Anyways, so Luke's back alive. We cut over to Jacob taking out the last sorts of things, and then as he gets into the car, he runs into Alice, and Alice makes a funny comments like, I guess it's a good thing you disbanded the Crows, because guess what? Your security sucked. Anyways, this is the episode ends off where Alice is saying, listen, Kate is still alive, and let's do what you and Kate couldn't do, and this time let's save one of our family. And that's where the episode ends off. The next episode preview, we're gonna see Diggle, and I'm guessing he's gonna give that inspiration to Luke to become Batwing. As well, it seems like we finally see Kate Kane knowing who she is and stuff like that. So it's gonna be very freaking interesting. And next week looks like it's gonna be a pretty dope ass episode. Definitely can't wait. We're seeing the actor that plays Diggle again. I forgot his name, but it's great to see him. I think this is his start of his little Green Lantern arc type of thing. So pretty cool. The only thing that sucks is that Black Lightning ended, so we never got John Diggle on Black Lightning seeing Lynn and stuff like that. Because technically, Lynn and John Diggle are related because they're both known as Stewart. But okay, yeah. Anyways, I thought this episode was pretty good, other than the freaking plot hole in terms of the, footage. But I thought it was solid. Definitely can't wait for next week. And yeah, other than that, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's episode of Batwoman, and hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Batwoman content, as well as any other CW, DC TV shows going forward. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and whenever you're checking out this video. Until then, I'm gonna get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.